A girl was so lost in her book that she didn't even realize the danger approaching her. A zombie attack had already begun. At the last moment, a boy rushed in, grabbed her, and immediately ran away with her. They ran toward the college canteen to escape, but when they reached, the situation was even worse because that was where most of the zombies were. There was no way out. So, they ran toward the classrooms. On the way, they saw a teacher surrounded by zombies. In the very next moment, the teacher became their food. Then the boy's eyes caught sight of a staircase. He carefully climbed up to the classroom above since it was still safe from the zombie attack. But when the girl was climbing up, a zombie saw her. Luckily, at the last second, the boys pulled her up, and both of them got inside the classroom safely. They wanted to call the police, but all their phones had been submitted earlier in the office. Everyone looked at each other carefully to check if anyone was infected. Suddenly, they found a phone in someone's bag, but the owner of the phone was already infected, so it couldn't be unlocked. One boy took the phone and tried unlocking it using a zombie's face. Luckily, the phone opened. He immediately called the police and reported the zombie attack at the college, but the police thought it was a prank call and disconnected. Now, the problem was even bigger. Then one girl took the phone and called the fire brigade, started preparing to keep themselves safe from the zombies inside the room. They blocked the door by stacking desks in front of it. Just then, the gym teacher entered the room. A boy asked him, "Did anyone bite you?" The teacher replied, "No." He too helped in locking the door tightly. While everyone was busy, one girl noticed a bite mark on the teacher's wrist. Seeing this, the students became alert. The teacher tried to explain, saying, "This wound is from something else," but the girl didn't believe him. The teacher got angry and scolded her. Suddenly, blood started dripping from his nose. Now it was certain he was changing. To stop him, one girl struck him on the head. The teacher tried to hit back, but fell to the ground. His body started shaking violently. Within moments, he turned into a zombie. As soon as he stood up, he lunged at the girl standing nearby. A boy pulled the teacher away, but sadly, the girl was already infected. The zombie teacher then tried attacking her again. Somehow, everyone fought back. One boy pinned the zombie teacher against the wall with the help of desks, but it was hard to hold him. Another boy rushed to help. Meanwhile, the infected girl also turned into a zombie. A boy grabbed her with all his strength, and at the right moment, all the students started escaping the classroom. They all ran out together, but the danger waiting below was even worse. Now the question is, will they survive? To watch part 2, like and subscribe, and visit my channel. As soon as the butcher opened the cage to slaughter a rooster, a white rooster inside seized the chance and leapt out of the cage with all its strength. The butcher, because unlike the other roosters, this one was unaffected by the drug. The rooster was running away when it suddenly encountered a team of soldiers marching past. It tried to escape by slipping through their legs, but one soldier's foot struck it hard, sending the rooster flying like a football. It shot into the sky and briefly joined a flock of pigeons, but because of its heavy weight, it started to fall. It fell straight into a factory where kettles were being made. Seeing the burning furnace, it tried to run, but the machine dropped it onto the next step. A worker placed a kettle lid over it and put it into the heat chamber. In the third step, the worker packed it into a box. When a chef opened the box while checking the delivery slip, the rooster jumped out from under the lid and ran away to save its life. Outside, it saw pigeons on a statue and tried to fly like them, but the chef shot it and carried it into the kitchen. For part 2, like and subscribe and visit my channel. This kid came to steal his teacher's bag, but is a monster. He gets scared and runs away. The teacher comes into the class and gives chocolates to all the children. But Peter realizes that the kids who went missing a few days ago had also eaten chocolates. He warns his friends not to eat them, but the teacher notices this. She comes to Peter and tells him to eat the chocolate. Just then, the bell rings. Peter tells his friends that the teacher is a monster who eats children. When he goes home, he tells his grandfather about it. His grandfather gets angry and reveals that this monster appears every next day when Peter goes to school. All the kids are frozen in place. Only he and his friends are normal. Suddenly, the teacher comes to him and tries to force him to eat the chocolate. But what happens next? For part 2, like and subscribe and visit my channel. This woman was a princess from the 16th century who bathed every day in thousands of liters of milk to remain beautiful and young. After bathing, she distributed the milk among the poor and hungry people of her kingdom, believing she was doing a virtuous deed. Surprisingly, she also ate birds' hearts raw every day. If anyone in her kingdom was more beautiful than her, they were imprisoned in the dungeons. In reality, this queen was more than 1,000 years old. Whenever she felt wrinkles appearing on her face or sensed herself aging, she would use her magical powers to steal the beauty and youth from young girls, making herself young and beautiful again. But even then, she was never as beautiful as she wanted to be. Even more shocking was the fact that she had a magical mirror that was her slave. She would ask the mirror, "Is there anyone in my kingdom more beautiful than me?" The mirror would reply, "Since the true princess of this kingdom, Snow White, whom you have imprisoned in the dungeon, has grown into a young woman, no one is more beautiful than her." Hearing this, the queen became furious. She could only become more beautiful if she ate the heart of that girl. So the queen sent her brother to bring Snow White's heart. For the first first time, he entered the dungeon where Snow White was lying. As he tried to take out her heart, the girl suddenly attacked his face with a dagger with all her strength. Taking advantage of the moment, she escaped from the dungeon. It was the first time she had ever stepped outside that dark prison. For part 2, like and subscribe and visit my channel. Here is the most dangerous landlord. Whoever rented this house was drugged, then their eyes and ears were sewn shut with needle and thread, and they were buried alive under the floor. Within a few years, the whole house filled with living corpses. One day, a new tenant named Anna moved into this house. The old couple welcomed her warmly. Seeing their innocence, Anna felt comfortable staying there. But one night, before sleeping, Anna heard strange noises from the wall. She slowly ran her hand over the wall and suddenly found hidden compartments. When she opened the smallest one, it contained strange bottles. When she opened the larger compartment, there was a dried up corpse inside. Seeing this, Anna screamed. Just then, the landlady appeared at the door and asked what had happened. Anna lied, saying she just had a bad dream, but the old woman realized that their secret was out. She tried to lure Anna into opening the door, but Anna refused. The landlady then forced the door open and entered. Anna quickly grabbed something nearby and knocked her unconscious. Anna ran and tried to escape through another staircase, but the old landlord appeared in front of her. He caught Anna and injected her, making her faint. When Anna regained consciousness, the old woman stood beside her with a knife, about to operate on her. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. A man had come looking for his missing daughter. The woman invited him inside. Meanwhile, the drug's effect on Anna began to wear off. She crawled toward the window and, after much effort, escaped and hid in the man's car. But then, the old couple killed the man and placed his body in the car to make it look like an accident. The car slowly rolled into a ravine. By luck, Anna did not die. People rescued her, and after treatment in the hospital, she safely returned to her parents. She thought her parents would now take care of her, but over time, Anna sank into deep depression. One day, she went back to that same guest house. She surrendered herself to become one of the living corpses. She was buried in the darkest basement because for her, that was. Subscribe and visit my channel. As soon as the boy sat on the golden chair, suddenly the gears started turning, and countless golden threads wrapped around his entire body. The girl immediately realized that something was wrong, so she told Percy to get up. But the boy had decided to sacrifice himself. Gradually, the golden chair engulfed him completely, and he himself turned into gold. After that, the statue of the goddess standing behind dropped her shield. But instead of running away with the shield, the girl started trying to understand the machine. At that moment, the god Hephaestus appeared. As soon as he rang the ladder, a staircase rose from the water. He told the girl to take the shield and leave, saying she would be considered a hero, but the girl clearly said that she could not leave her friend behind. She kept trying to understand the chair. Seeing their friendship, Hephaestus's heart softened. He blew the whistle again, and the golden layer on Percy's body began to melt. Finally, Percy breathed again, completing their mission, and then Percy handed the shield over to Ares. Keeping his promise, Ares gave him a bag, and when Percy opened it, there was an electric weapon inside. After that, he went straight to the Empire State Building, picked up the weapon, and said he needed to meet Zeus. As soon as the elevator reached the top, Percy had arrived in Olympus. Without fear, he handed the weapon to Zeus, but Zeus became suspicious, thinking Percy had stolen it. He lifted the weapon and was about to attack Percy when Poseidon intervened, grabbing his hand. For the sake of his son, he bowed before Zeus and said, "Just spare my son." Zeus warned him that he never wanted to see Percy again, and then left. Finally, Percy met his father. Poseidon praised his work and then gave him a pearl, sending him safely back to the human world. For part 2, like and subscribe and visit my channel. This monk stood with both arms spread out, sharp arms. He lifted 2 buckets filled with 55 pounds of water each. Now he had to pass through a narrow and sloping alley. He had to reach the top of the mountain and pour the water into the valley. But the condition was that his balance must not break. If his arms dropped straight into his body. At first, he failed. Meaning was different. He had to listen to the sound of the master striking the wooden fish and ring a bell with a special hammer on every beat. At first, the monk thought this practice was useless, but the moment he did the hammer, he realized the difficulty. It weighed only 22 pounds, but it was attached to a long and flexible bamboo pole. There was no solid support. As soon as he held it, it felt like 100 pounds, and he had to use only one hand. At the beginning, he somehow lifted it by holding near the hammer's head, but after a few strength in his wrist was gone. He looked at the master. The master kept calmly striking the fish. At that moment, a sense of competition awakened inside him. He gripped tighter and kept ringing the bell. His wrist was injured, but he did not give in. He was striking swiftly and accurately while holding the bottom of the pole. He passed the test and was made supervisor of the scripture pavilion. The next level began again. He had to stand between 2 large burning incense sticks and fix his gaze only on the moving flames. His head was not allowed to move at all. At first, he was confident. His eyes quickly followed the flames, but as soon as the master increased the speed, his head moved unintentionally and he got burned. The master sternly said, "Your eyes may burn, but your head must not move." This time, he calmed his mind. No matter how fast the flames moved, his head remained steady. For part 2, like and subscribe and visit my channel. He is considered the deadliest killer because whatever comes into his hands, he turns into a weapon. That's why whenever he meets clients, strict security is mandatory. Every weapon is seized, and even his clothes are removed, so not even a needle can pass. Then his associates give him a special outfit. The room where he meets clients is filled with CCTV cameras, and dozens of bodyguards stand outside. During the meeting, he hands the client a photo, the target, but the client doesn't know the same person has already paid the killer double. The killer folds the photo silently. In an instant, ordinary paper becomes a sharp weapon. Within seconds, he eliminates the client and slips out without a sound. His moves are so swift that cameras capture nothing clearly. Once done, he gets a new target, Bruce, his old rival, but as soon as he lands in his private jet, his men inform him the plane is stolen. He checks CCTV and Bruce appears on the screen. Furious, he orders, "This time, give me a weapon to settle the score." For part 2, like and subscribe and visit my channel. This man poured the bottle of poison on the ground so that the wild wolves wouldn't eat his son's body. But as soon as he left, a vulture swooped straight down from the sky and was about to attack the boy's body. At that very moment, the boy, in pain, he grabbed the vulture and hurled it forcefully into the ravine below. That's when he realized he was actually lying on the edge of a cliff. If he stayed there, he would die of hunger, so he made a reckless decision. He slowly started climbing down the cliff, but suddenly his foot slipped and he was about to fall. Fortunately, he caught hold of a crack in the rock. Now he was hanging midway down the cliff. Suddenly, it began to rain and his strength started fading. Looking down, he saw that the rainwater had turned into a flowing river. He took a deep breath, gathered courage, and jumped. The next morning, the boy regained consciousness on the ground. He pulled his right foot out of the shoe. It was badly injured. He picked up a wooden stick and made a simple splint. After walking for a long time, he reached the top of the cliff again. There he saw a gravestone his father had built for him, believing he had died from the fall. Just then, he noticed a pack of wolves running toward him.